Time for another episode of A World Gone Mad, Season 2, Episode 64. I'm your host, Jeff Allen Wolf. And a happy Valentine's Day to all the ladies out there. Hope you enjoyed your day and will carry the love and warmth over through your weekend. And if you don't have a significant other during this time, I send a lot of positive vibes your way and a big hug. Pamper yourself, be kind to yourself. Remember, you are important. All right, switching gears. Let's get to the news. I am pissed, and I'm angry, and I'm disgusted at the people now in charge of this country. JD Dumbass, the Vice President, came out swinging against our European allies at a security conference dominated by Ukraine's future. The Vice President downplayed Russia's danger, claiming Europe's biggest threat is from within. Now, the U.S. Vice President delivered a long diatribe against European leaders at this conference on Friday, accusing them of an overly repressive response to unorthodox political views and even comparing them to Cold War tyrants. Vance used his first major speech as vice president to lambast European politicians for suppressing free speech, losing control of immigration, and refusing to work with hard-right parties in government. The audience at the Munich Security Conference was expecting to hear about the Trump administration's plans to end the war in Ukraine, but instead were treated to a bombastic rejection of liberal orthodoxies that have prevailed in Western Europe since the Second World War, in a speech that downplayed the threats to the continent posed by Russia and China. Vance kissing ass to Putin. What a shock. Sarcastically, I say this, and attacking our European allies? Are you out of your frigging mind? You are an asshole, JD, a total puppet to Donald Trump, who is a puppet to Putin, and JD, you're kissing the ass of Russia's dictator. Every single day I'm disgusted hearing Donald Trump open his mouth, and now JD Vance saying stupid things to disrupt the world order and bow in deference to Putin. If anything happened to Donald the delusional one, this is who would become president. J.D. Dumbass Vance. And in a shocking statement, someone came to the defense of Ukraine that you wouldn't expect. Listen to the following comments from Lindsey Graham. That's right, Senator Lindsey. I switch sides depending on which way the wind blows, Graham. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham said Ukraine should be armed to the teeth to deter Russian President Vladimir Putin, calling Ukraine the ally I've been waiting for all my life. I think he, meaning U.S. President Donald Trump, is going to find a way to end this war, said Lindsey, in a fashion that Putin would be a fool to do it again. Lindsey commented about this during a panel discussion on Friday at the Munich Security Conference in Germany. How do you deter Putin? You arm this guy to the teeth, Graham said, pointing at Ukraine's President Zelensky. Let's arm this guy. Let's do the minerals agreement so you have American business interests in Ukraine. Putin doesn't understand what's going on. If we sign this minerals agreement, then Putin is screwed because Trump will defend the deal. Graham called Ukraine the ally I've been waiting for all my life. You've taken our weapons, you've kicked Russia's ass, and I'm very proud to have you as our ally, he said. And in response to Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth saying no way in hell Ukraine should be allowed to become a part of NATO, this is how President Zelensky responded. Zelensky said his country's army will need to double in size if NATO denies it membership to the alliance. If we do not have NATO, real NATO, we will make NATO in Ukraine. It means that we need to increase our soldiers, our army, twice. We have 110 brigades. Russia has 220 brigades, Zelensky said Friday at the Munich Security Conference in Germany. Zelensky said earlier that even though the Trump administration is not ready to talk about his country's future membership of NATO, it remains the best security guarantee for Ukraine. And the absolute joke of everything, the unmitigated gall from Donald Delusional saying Zelensky shouldn't be involved in the negotiations for an end of the war in Ukraine, is beyond the pale. I don't even know the words to use. It is totally obvious and blatant what Donald is implying. Look at me, I'm Donald, and I kiss Putin's ass. President Zelensky responded to this idea of him not being involved in the negotiations between the war of his country and Russia. Zelensky has urged the United States not to make any decisions about Ukraine without Ukraine ahead of expected talks with U.S. Vice President JD Vance. I think what's very important in the meeting is not to make any decisions about Ukraine without us, Zelensky said. We will never accept it. And I'm not just speaking about me, he said. It is very important for me to pressure Vladimir Putin. Put all the sanctions. I think President Trump is ready to do that. He has all this power to do that. That is why I wanted very much to come to Washington any day. Zelensky representing Ukraine needs to be at the table with Putin representing Russia and Donald representing the United States. End of discussion. This is not a 2 out of 3 show up and they decide what Ukraine will or will not do. Bullshit. Zelensky has to be at the negotiating table. And to the lame-ass Republicans, you sit on the sidelines and keep kissing Donald's ring. Wake the hell up. Do something. You work for the United States, not the other way around. You, Republicans, were voted in to protect our democracy, and you've abdicated that position. You've given up that responsibility. Shame on you. You should be removed from office or not voted back in again. I am asking. No, I'm demanding the mainstream media to stop focusing on the Democrats, what they are or are not doing to stop Trump. Start putting the heat on the Republicans in Congress and in the Senate to say, do your frigging job. The Congress has the power of the purse strings, not Donald the dictator. Take control, Republicans. Stop being scared of your own shadow. I'm sorry, Wolfpack listeners. I'm angry. I'm pissed off. I'm done. I want freaking action from the Republicans. Not going to get it. Not going to see it. But we have to put pressure on them, the Republicans. The media has to put pressure on them. And again, the Republicans, not the Democrats. But the Republicans are to blame for this disaster and this destruction of our country being taken down hour by hour, day by day into the gutter. Make America great again is a bullshit slogan. It doesn't mean I don't like America. Quite the contrary. America not being great again, that's not the issue. The issue is we need leaders who care about our country, not their pocketbooks, not about how much power they can take. It's not about retribution or revenge, but a genuine care for America to make it into the greatest country in the world by seeing the future, pushing us into a new ideology, a new respect level. Unlike Donald the delusional one that has the majority of the world hating our guts. The Kennedy Arts Center, the Theater of the Performing Arts, is in turmoil. Artists including actress and writer Issa Rae and television producer Shonda Rhimes have cut ties with the Kennedy Center after President Donald Trump took over as chairman Wednesday, days after he announced a plan to terminate the organization's board. Rae announced on her Instagram story she canceled a sold-out show at the Kennedy Center because of what she called an infringement on the values of an institution that has faithfully celebrated artists of all backgrounds. Rhimes, the creator behind shows including Grey's Anatomy and Scandal, resigned from her post on the organization's board, posted a quote from President John F. Kennedy on her Instagram. If art is to nourish the roots of our culture, society must set the artist free to follow his vision wherever it takes him. Musician Ben Folds resigned as an artistic advisor to the Kennedy Center, stating in a Facebook post, "The recent developments are not for me." Low Cut Connie, a Philadelphia-based rock band, announced on Instagram they would no longer play at the Kennedy Center, criticizing Trump for his self-appointment and for replacing the board, and stating the band stands for diversity, inclusion, and truth-telling. Singer Renee Fleming also resigned from her position as artistic advisor, thanking the organization's previous chairman David Rubenstein in a statement while praising the bipartisan support for this institution without naming Trump. And on and on and on. Hey, these may not be the most earth-shattering people to leave the Kennedy Theater of the Performing Arts, but it is a statement nonetheless. Now, Trump appointed himself as the chairman of the board. They had a formal vote to make it official, and Trump announced that he was elected unanimously, which is not true. Several people abstained from the vote, and one or two people said no. But of course, Trump wanted to make it sound like everyone loves him because he's so frigging egotistical. Trump also removed all of former President Joe Biden's appointees to the Kennedy Center board, which is now made up entirely of Trump appointees, including Second Lady Usha Vance and White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles. As chairman, Trump has veto power over the board's decisions. Look, I don't know JD Vance's wife. She may be a very nice lady, but her and Susie Wiles, Chief of Staff, on the board of directors for the Kennedy Arts Center, that's ridiculous. These people, again, like his other members in his different departments, are not qualified. They have no clue about the arts. Art is sacred. Kennedy Theater Center of the Performing Arts is sacred. We can't let this man, with his board, decide what America should see and hear and enjoy. The joke known as Donald Trump continues, with Elon Musk controlling what Donald does. We are at a ridiculous precipice, and Donald and Elon are trying to push America over the edge to crash it, to grind it into dust. They're doing a great job of it with the help from the Republicans. I want to thank every one of you, the listeners who support me, those of you that listen, and the handful that write me and comment with text on Blue Sky, and phone me, leave a voice message. But a lot of you who are listening are silent. I'd love to hear from you with your opinions. I would like to hear your comments. And before I continue with more news, don't forget wolfpacklistener@gmail.com. That's the email. 833-399-9653. It's toll-free voicemail system, the word free. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can call me from Canada or anywhere in the United States. Use the phone number. Become a part of it. And if you don't want your comment with your name to be aired, I won't. It's simple. Hey, Jeff, this is Bob from Minnesota. You can use my comment, just don't use my name. Or go right ahead and use my first name in my comment. That's all that I ask everyone to do. Now, a lot of you claim you're against Donald Trump. And if you are, then do something about it. Share your comments. Tell me what's on your mind. Let me share your thoughts with others. They may need to hear that other people feel like you. So your words and comments make a difference. And join me on Blue Sky. Come on over. Get away from Facebook. Stop wasting your time on Facebook. Say hi to me over on Blue Sky. We need resistors. We need people to stand together to protect our country. I have a microphone. I'm not special, but my microphone allows me to reach the world. A post on Facebook is only seen by the people that's in that Facebook group. And what Facebook decides and allows to be shown or not be shown to others. The White House banned the AP News indefinitely over the use of Gulf of Mexico. Here comes the attack on the press, everyone. The Trump White House said Friday that the Associated Press is banned from the Oval Office and Air Force One indefinitely. Why? Well, the AP, one of the world's biggest news outlets, was singled out by the White House earlier this week over 3 words, Gulf of Mexico. President Donald Trump said last month that the U.S. government would rename the body of water the Gulf of America. The change has taken effect on government or at government agencies, but other countries do not recognize the new name, and the AP has customers around the world, so it still refers to the Gulf of Mexico while also acknowledging Trump's decree. Now, the White House Correspondents Association determines which outlets are part of the pool rotation at the White House. The AP is included every day, but with the ban in place, that may be reassessed. On Thursday, the WHCA, which represents the press corps, said the action against the AP is a textbook violation of not only the First Amendment, but the president's own executive order on freedom of speech and ending federal censorship. The attack on the media starts, guys. Let's see what group of people Trump wants to ban next. Hey, Wolfpack listeners, in case you're not aware of this, I know a lot of you are, but some of you may not be. Nationwide 50501 anti-Trump protests mobilized to protect democracy from the Trump-Musk coup. Protests against Trump and Project 2025 are planned in cities across the U.S., and the movement has organized under the hashtags Build the Resistance and hashtag 50501, which stands for 50 protests, 50 states, 1 day. Many of the protests are planned at state capitals, with some in other cities. Now, unlike the February 5 rallies, the 50501 organizers are encouraging a day of action for President's Day, this Monday, the 17th. The group posted to Instagram that it's asking you, again, to gather or participate in other ways. The posts go on to suggest that followers should attend or organize a protest, strategize with other local organizers, inundate their representatives with calls and emails, and take a moment of self-care and solidarity. Every small act contributes to a powerful collective movement, the post says. So be aware, President's Day, the 17th Monday, is when the 50501 anti-Trump protests mobilize to protect democracy from Trump and Musk. Let me know. Send me a comment if you're doing anything Monday, and let me know that if you did, how it went after your protest event. Whatever you do, give me some feedback. I will be back Monday night with another episode of A World Gone Mad. I'm your host, Jeff Allen Wolf, sitting in a room talking to myself. Stay hopeful.